I'm from the US, and many, many years ago, I lived with a woman named Renata. Now, Renata was really a party animal, okay? So, early September, she announces to me, we're doing a Halloween costume party. So you should be thinking about what kind of costume you're going to wear. Now, I didn't think too much about this. I mean, the idea of a costume party wasn't a big deal. I was busy with other things. I kept putting off thinking about it, putting off. 2 days before the party, I come into the kitchen and there she is. I want to know what costume you're wearing. Well, I didn't want to admit that I hadn't thought about it, right? So I opened my mouth, and guess what came out? I'm going to dress in drag. Now, I don't know who was more shocked at this, her or me. But her eyes got big and her mouth dropped open and she kind of whispers, says, "You're kidding, right?" Now, see, if I were a smart man, I would have said, "Ha ha, yes, of course, wouldn't that be ridiculous?" I'm not a smart man. I said, "Well, sure, I think it'll be fun. I'll just rent a wig." She looks at me and she says, "Is that the extent of your costume?" And I said, "Well, I suppose I can stuff some socks down my front, right? Sort of look like boobs and so forth." She says, "Oh, no. You want to look your best, right?" Now, I don't know why I thought I needed to look my best, but I said, "Well, yes, of course." She says, "Wait a minute." She runs out, comes back with one of her bras. Now, Renata was a big woman, okay? But she was not that big. So when I tried to put it around me, I was missing about 15 centimeters. Well, I'm a creative sort of guy, so I put some rubber bands on it, And then I tried to put it over my head like a sweatshirt. And I got it down to about here when the rubber bands broke. Snap! Right in the... She falls into her chair, laughing. Tears. All right, how do you put the damn thing on anyway? So she gets up and she shows me, you put it on backwards and you slip it around and you put it over. I said, "You gotta be kidding, really?" Well, okay. So then I got some socks, and I put it in and said, "Well, how do I look?" She looks at me and she says, "Well, not too bad. If the room's really dark and everybody's drunk." So she runs out and comes back in with a skirt, nice, big, billowy thing with yellow pastel and flowers on it and everything. You got to wear a skirt. Really? Okay, so I slip off the pants, and I pull it on. It's kind of tight, but it's real elastic band. I was like, "Get it off!" I said, "My God, it's tight." She says, "Oh, the men love that, they love to look at your butt." So at this point, she can't contain it anymore. She goes running out of the room, and I stand there, and well, now what? So I go in front of the mirror, and the first thing I notice is all the hair on my legs. Now, that isn't going to work, right? But I thought, well, maybe I can shave. No. Then I'd have to put up with all the kidding from the men, when I go into the gym for the next 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know. I'll just put on some nylon stockings, and that'll kind of cover it. But now what else? I need jewelry, and I need makeup and lipstick, and I have no idea about any of these things. So I go back and I find Renata and I say, "Can you help me here?" She says, "Oh, sure. Let's have a girls' shopping night tonight." I thought I'd have been smarter to figure out just what she was doing to me, right? But no. So we go out, we buy a whole bunch of stuff, come back, my little plastic bag full of all this makeup and everything. I'm saying, this is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so it's the night of the party. I go in, I start with the nylon stockings, all right? Men, if you've never tried to put on nylon stockings, and I assume you haven't, you have no idea how hard it is. Because you have to kind of roll them up and pull it very gently, because if you don't, they just rip. So I'm working and I finally get them up and everything. And then I look down. Ladies, you know this, right? Nylons don't cover hair on your legs at all. It looked god-awful. So I take them. Fortunately, Renata had anticipated this, and she had encouraged me to also buy some pantyhose, right, that you couldn't see through. So she knew that would cover it. My God, if I thought stockings were hard to put on, pantyhose is worse because you got to do both legs at the same time, and it's got to get clear up over your hips. So I'm straining and pulling it up and everything. And I'm fighting it over my head. Oh! I overlooked one critical difference between male and female anatomy. So I pull them down again, and I get some scissors, and I'm kind of cutting up in the middle. Pull it back up again, and I'll just leave you to imagine what it looked like standing there. Packet hanging out and so on. Okay, well, I put on a skirt real fast, so I didn't have to look at that. And I put on the bra, and I put it on right this time, backwards, slip it around. Now, I had decided that what I would use for a blouse, you see, was I'd take one of my shirts and I just put it on backwards. Except that doesn't work the same way with the bra, because if you put it on the front and turn it around, you can't get your arms in. So I'm putting it in over my head backwards, and I practically sprained my shoulders trying to button the darn thing. I don't know how you ladies do it. I really don't. Anyway, I get it on. Get my, the bra on and all of that, and kind of position the socks so I think it looks halfway decent. Now, I walk over and look in the mirror. Now, a smart man at this point would have realized I've come up with the stupidest idea in the universe. But as I said before, I'm not a smart man. Okay, so now I start putting on the... Did I lose the mic?
Yeah, don't step on it. You're stepping on the cable.
There. I still don't have the mic. Oh well. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just talk loud then. So at any rate, now I've started to work with the lipstick, and I'm trying to put it on. It's all over my face, I mean, it looked like I was trying to dress as a clown, right? And then I start putting on the eyeliner, and I get some in my eye, and oh God, does it burn! So the tears are running down, and of course, whatever mascara I put on is now run down my cheek. It looks like I'm trying to look like a witch, right? But I want to look my best, right? So I get some cold cream. By this point, I can hear the guests are coming here. Renata's hollering at me. When are you going to get down here? I'm coming, I'm coming. I promised myself I would never again complain about how long it took her to get ready. Sweat's running off of me and everything. Okay, so I finally get that on, get the hair on, the wig on and so forth. Get into high heel shoes. Now, they were not stilettos. Maybe 4 centimeters or so. My goal at this point is just to get down the stairs without killing myself. Okay, so there I am. Oh yeah, I take one last look at myself in the mirror. Passably female, but I wouldn't look at myself twice if I saw me on the street, right? All right, so I get down into the living room. And I see my good friend Charlie there, He's talking to somebody else. So I come up and say, "Hey, Charlie, how you doing?" He says, "Oh, hi, Roger." And he mumbles something, I got to refresh my drink. And he disappears. Strange, I thought. Well, I'll go talk to Harold. Same thing with Harold. It's like I'm wearing male repellent. They want to get as far away from me as they can. Whatever it was, though, was a real attraction for the women. They clustered around me and they're touching my hair. Oh, you look so lovely and very impressive. So I tell them, about my struggles with the makeup and they start giving me tips, And I'm listening intently as though this is things I'm going to need to know for the rest of my life. So, but then I'm talking, I'm talking to one of these ladies, Marge, I think was her name, and behind her was a glass cabinet for china and so forth, but I could see in the glass what was going on behind me. Guess what was going on behind me? The men were standing around, staring at my butt and my socks for boobs. And I'd look around quickly, and I was like... Now, it was so weird, because part of me was pleased, you know, that my costume was good enough that they were looking at me. Part of me was really annoyed, you know, that they were looking at me that way. And part of me was really a bit embarrassed when I recognized my own behavior. So I got kind of carried away, you know, looked at the end real quickly, and the rubber bands broke. Snap, you know, and everything started to fall down. So the ladies, you know, one of the ladies says, "Oh, sweetie, I think, you know, you need to go to the bathroom and kind of get things taken care of." Okay, so I go dashing off, you know, and I get the rubber bands fixed, freshen up my lipstick, using the tips that I'd gotten. And I come back and they look at me and say, "Oh, you look so lovely, it's wonderful." I tell them about what I noticed, you know, about what the men were doing. There's nods of recognition from every woman that was there. So now I start getting tips about how to look sexy when you want to, you know. Throw one hip out, and shoulder back. So, yeah. Really need to know this, right? And another one says, now if you don't want to be noticed, see, poor posture, you kind of pull your shoulders forward, don't make eye contact, sit down and double cross your legs, you know, at the ankle, turn to the side. But with all of this, I was just, it was like I had been made an honorary woman for the evening. And they let me be part of the women's world. And there was just this wonderful, non-competitive kind of conversation and supportive listening. It was absolutely one of the most amazing evenings of my life. It gave me a new perspective on what life is like for all of you women, and gave me a much stronger appreciation for the women who were willing to be part of my life. I guess that was a wonderful evening. However, I've never been tempted to dress and drag again. Thanks very much.